Yo, what is good, people, man? I go by the name of Beezy, and right now we are here with the first episode of this series, man. I don't really have a name for this series right now, so I'm not going to lie to you. I came a little bit unprepared. I've kind of brainstormed on a few things, but let's just say that the name of this podcast series is going to be whatever you can see in the title, all right? That's how we're doing this, all right? So what the gist of this is obviously, like, I have regular conversations about MCOC, and I kind of just thought, like, instead of me just having these conversations away from YouTube and away from, like, any kind of platform, let me just record them. Like, that's how this idea kind of came about. So ideally, what we're going to do is when I have these conversations on a weekly basis, sometimes you might see, we might have the same person on here, and we obviously just talk about different things to do with the game. Sometimes we might have a completely new guest, and ideally, I don't want it to just be a bunch of YouTubers. In fact, I want it to kind of be the complete opposite. I want to shed some light on some, like, really good players within the community, because at the end of the day, the community is full of so many good players, and you know, we only kind of are aware of ones that are in the spotlight, whether it be the ones that obviously head over to Kabam headquarters and they take part in these tournaments, or the ones that are on YouTube or feature on other people's YouTube channels. So ideally, there's a lot of people in the community. I'll probably start off with people in my alliance that are really good at the game and that have progressed kind of really well, and my friends, and then branch out to kind of like other people within the community. It's not to say that we won't ever have YouTubers on here, but I certainly don't want it to be a case of it's just YouTubers, do you know what I mean? But anyway, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, today I am joined here in episode 1. This guy has been my boy for I don't even know how many years. We have, I don't think we've ever been in the same alliance prior to this one, but I might be wrong. Obviously, we'll get him to confirm that once I introduce him. But I don't just play MCOC with him. I play a bunch of other games with him as well. Pause, that sounded a bit crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, man, I wanna introduce to you my boy 10,000 Fists. 10,000 Fists, man. Welcome to the channel, my bro. How you doing, my brother?
Thank you. Yeah, not bad, man. And I can confirm that this alliance that we're currently in is the only alliance that we've ever both been in at the same time.
It is the only one, isn't it? Bro, can I just say, when I joined this alliance, what was my reputation like? How long did people think I was gonna be in the alliance for?
Like 1 season.
Like we've done good, isn't it? We've done a good run.
It's been like a good, what, year and a half, 2 years?
It's been a good run,
maybe not quite 2 years, but close to it.
I'm not gonna lie. If you wasn't here, I would have left still. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Right, I wouldn't have been surprised. One bit like that. That was the reputation that, like, we used to, like, mock you for it all the time. Like,
100%.
we were, like, every time you joined an alliance, we were like, let's take bets on how long you got, how many seasons. And it would never be more than 3.
100%, man. 100%, man. But obviously, Fist. You know, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, his name is 10,000 Fists. We just call him Fist, to be fair. But Fist, man, welcome, man. Obviously, I believe it's your first time on the channel, I think. I don't think you featured him.
Mate, I'm co-owner of this channel now. This has been well established in the Crystal opening.
If you guys, by the way, if you guys have never heard of Fist before or anything like that, he's been on call on some of my, like, older live streams where we've done long form content. We've done big openings, like whenever there's, like, new featured crystals coming out, or, like, we do big openings. Fist, obviously, I have the pleasure of, obviously, Fist sharing his crystal openings with us on the channel. So if you guys haven't ever seen that, just go to one of the big, like, featured crystal openings and you'll definitely hear Fist on call, man. But all right, Fist, boom. The number one question I want to ask you, the first question, because I don't actually think I know the answer to this. There may be things that we've discussed that I'm just going to ask anyway for the viewers to obviously get to know you a little bit better and get to know your knowledge and stuff. But my first question for you, bro, who's your favorite champion in the game? I don't think I've ever asked you that, bro.
It kind of depends at the time. Like, for overall general use,
yeah,
I would have to say Apocalypse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you're a massive Apocalypse.
I love. I very, very, very rarely see anyone with, like, a rank 5 ascended 6-star Apocalypse. Like, I've done that. Like, just because he's just one of my favorite champs to play. Like, he's got great damage output. He's got the damage over time if you need it. He's got a bit of regen in between fights if you're questing with him.
Yeah. 100%.
Like I wouldn't say he's like outright superior at any one thing, but he's really good at all the things he can do.
I mean, he's your favorite champ. That's all that matters. Do you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, if you're not going to play the game to rank up your favorite champions, then why are you here? Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly it. So, I would have to say Hitmonkey is a very, very close second.
I know you love Hitmonkey too. I know bro, if we ever have a Battlegrounds friendly, bro, he's getting banned. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a heads up from now, bro. He's getting banned. I know you love your Hitmonkey, man. How long have you been playing the game for?
Since about 2017.
Oh damn, you've been deep. You in this deep, bro.
I joined the month that I started playing the game the month that Dr. Octopus was released. Because I always remember that was like he was a featured champ in Crystals at the time when I first joined. That was like one of the. I got him as a 4-star like almost straight away.
Yeah,
he'd only just come out, and like obviously being new to the game, like 4-star. Well, it was a 4-star, innit? For me as a brand new player, like I was gassed at the time.
Yeah. Well, was he your first 4-star champion that you pulled?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Who was my?
Do you remember? That's a good question because I think
I normally do remember who my first 4-stars are, but first champion of each rarity is. At the moment, it's slipped my mind though.
Okay, fair enough.
If it comes back, I'll keep thinking about it. If it comes back to me, I'll say.
Yeah. So you've been playing since 2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're in 2024 now. So that's kind of approaching 7 years.
Yeah.
Now,
close to.
Considering you've been nearly playing the game for 7 years, like a lot's happened between back then when you started playing and now. What keeps you playing?
Mate, it's my love like for the Marvel universe in general. More than anything else, I would say. Like, obviously, the game itself is good enough that it keeps me interested and keeps me wanting to play and get all the new champs and like. But it's also like the sort of the fact that you've got like your solo stuff, but then you've got like your alliance-based stuff as well. So it's like it's like a mix of like sort of solo and co-op type stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I like that there's like a little bit of variety to the game in terms of, like, I get that like the general way that you play the game is like you pick a champ for each fight, and the actual gameplay is pretty much you're doing the same thing every single fight, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's still like the variety of nodes like mixes things up, like having to use all the different champs.
Because I was just
makes it interesting.
I was just about to say, because you the point that you just made, you kind of are, but you aren't. Because there's so much different aspects to a fight, like, the champion you're fighting and the node that's on the fight as well, that can dramatically make one fight be completely different to the next. So 100% in what you're saying. So obviously, like, there's, you mentioned your love for Marvel. There's so many Marvel games out there. Like, what drew you into MCOC out of every other game that you could have picked?
There was actually a friend of mine who had been playing MCOC like since it launched, and he had basically been telling me about this game for a good few years. Because what was it, 2014 or 2015 that the game came out?
Yep. I think it was 20. That's a good question, actually. I'm not too sure.
It might have been 2014. I'm sure that the game is it not? Was it not the 9th? 10-year anniversary is this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it would be, yeah. So like it must have been 2014 that it came out.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And so he'd been playing it for a couple of years, but at the time when the game first came out, I wasn't using a compatible device that could run the game.
You're one of them.
So So when I eventually upgraded to my first iPhone, like my friend was like, "Look, finally, like, this game's been out for years. Give it a try and see what you think." And just, I was
never looked back.
Right from the start. Yeah,
you've never. So let me ask you a question. You've been playing the game for 7 years. Have you ever thought about quitting?
Quitting the game entirely? No, I haven't.
Okay. Fair enough.
There's
would
certainly
you?
been times when the game's been obviously a lot more difficult. I'll never forget like that month when I think it was when Wasp and Ghost were released, and that was the month when the game was basically turning everyone's like devices into ovens.
Oh yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Like that particular month, like I was like, yeah, this is definitely off-putting. I was certainly not wanting to really play that. I still wanted to play, but obviously because of what it was doing to my phone, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm struggling to want to keep playing, but
Yeah.
I persevered through it, and like obviously,
Man was ready to trade in his microwave and just start putting them meals on his phone, you know. No, I hear you. So, like, with that being said, like at the end of the day, obviously here we are. We're deep in at the end of the day, and you know you've been progressing through the game quite well. Obviously, although you've never wanted to quit the game, what's been the worst moment in the game for you? Like, was there a time where, although you haven't quit, was there a time where something so bad happened that you was just like, do you know what? I don't know if I don't know if I can do this anymore, man. Like for you, what's been the one worst experience that you've had on this game? Like that, whether it be an update or whether it be just something that only affected you or something that affected the community, like in your opinion, what would it be?
I mean, I think the toaster oven device thing that I just mentioned is probably one of the biggest things.
Okay.
That Winter of Woabs, man, was certainly
Oh, brother.
that was certainly something that I did not like. When I ended up not even doing that fight.
I don't even want to talk about that, bro.
I try. I've got a rank 2 7-star Warlock. Still couldn't do the fight. I tried with my rank 1 7-star Gilly 99. Couldn't do the fight. I'd spent a bunch of my saved up resources trying that. I would get him down. I think the best I did was I got him down to about 67, 68% health.
Yeah.
And then I would go in on the next attempt, and he's back up at like 80% health. And it was just, yeah, like I just could not get any decent momentum going in that fight, and I was just wasting resources. And I thought, you know what, like I would rather just skip this fight,
100%.
miss the king. It's going to end up costing me more in units now to try and get past this fight and get that Deathless King group piece than to just wait and buy the piece that I'm missing when it gets released later. That's going to end up just being the cheaper option for me.
And you know what? That's the beauty of like aspects of the game, like you just mentioned. Like you didn't have to do that. You know, like it wasn't like, oh my gosh, guys, there's a massive, huge progression level here, and if you do this fight, you get it. If you don't do this fight, you lose out. It wasn't like that at all, and I think that's one thing I really enjoy about this game. It doesn't make me feel, as much as their rewards are really good and stuff, it doesn't make me feel like, oh my gosh, this is above my skill level, but I have to do this. I don't have that feeling with nothing. With nothing, everything to do with this game, I'm like, this is really good, but I'm not quite ready for this yet. Hopefully the next time something like this comes out, I'm a bit more skillful at the game. My roster's a little bit better. Maybe a champion that makes it a little bit easy wasn't in my roster, but hopefully I will have them next time. You know, like, so with that being said, like, you know, and on top of that, let's also mention the fight was difficult because of the restriction of who you had to use within the objectives. What I should have done, which I was so fuming that I couldn't get past the objective with the champions I had to use, was I should have just completed it with a normal champion. That's what I didn't do. But that was down to me because I left it too last minute to do my run. But obviously, you could do that fight with anyone, still get the point for defeating him, and then just move on. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I wish I did do. And obviously, unfortunately, because I left it till too late, it was like my head was just screwed, man. My brother, I was about 25 to 30 revives in. I said, no, man. It's done. I was like, it's done.
Yeah,
it's done. I'm charging this. I'm charging this, man. I'm done. I'm done. Because I was like, brother, I haven't even touched. In my head, I was like, dude, I'm like near a necropolis path completion. Like that's how deep the revives were getting, and it made me. That's what made me realize, bro, stop, man. You've got this brother down to 9% to 6%, and he's all the way up, bro. Just relax, man. It's gone. It's lost. It's lost. Do you know what I mean? But with saying that, obviously, you know, Kabam. Massive shout out to Kabam. They've obviously got these Kabam live streams going on where they're obviously giving us updates about the game, and I feel like where we are now compared to, I mean, let me not give my opinion. You can answer this. Compared to how it was when you first started the game, and where we are now with how Kabam communicate with the community and whatnot, like what's your thoughts? Like, you know, because obviously you're always going to have mixed emotions from forums. You got some people that are never going to be happy. You got some people that are just like nothing bothers them and they're just happy to play the game. And then you've got some that are in the middle where obviously when the company does something good, they're happy. When the company doesn't do something as good, they're quite honest and just give reasonable feedback. Like, what's your opinion on where we were with the level of communication with Kabam when the game first came out, or when you first started playing the game compared to like where it is now with the community?
See, like when I first started playing, like I wasn't really paying much attention to like the forums and what was being said and whatever.
Yep.
The only real sort of interactions I had with like other people, like that had anything to do with the game, were either alliance mates,
Yep.
like within like sort of within the game,
Yep.
or from watching two particular YouTubers. And obviously at that time when I first joined, Seaton was the guy.
Shout out to my brother Seaton, man. Shout out to Seaton.
Shout out to Seaton. And then the other one was yourself, because obviously like that, I started playing roughly around about a similar time that you started doing the whole MCOC YouTube thing. And so I wouldn't say I've been watching you since day one. It's probably not been quite since day one, but I'm certainly not far off it.
Yeah. But I specifically remember you because you were the first. I think at the time you were the first person that I spoke to away from YouTube, because I think we had each other on Twitter, which was it was called Twitter at the time. I think we had each other on Twitter, and I remember seeing your thing saying UK Gamer, and I was like, does he game in general, or like is it just MCOC? And I remember you saying, no man, you play other games, and it was my first encounter with someone else that like played a mobile game like me, because MCOC is my first mobile gaming experience. So it was my first person who I can kind of step away from the mobile game and play console games with, but still understood the passion and the love that I had for mobile gaming. That was very new to me at the time. So it was so fun, like, because although we were playing other games outside of MCOC, MCOC will still heavily be a part of the discussion, and we'll be in parties with people, and people will be like, what the hell are these two guys talking about, man? Do you know what I mean? So it's nice, man. And then obviously here we are, however many years later. And like
we sat at a party, I'd be like, Beezy, we've got war going on, and like everyone else is like, what? Who are you going to war with?
Oh, it's hilarious,
who you got beef with?
That's hilarious, man. So listen, so obviously in Kabam's recent live stream, they announced Sagas coming to the game, which is obviously something totally new that the game's never experienced. Like, what are your thoughts about what you've seen about Sagas?
I like the idea of it. It's like it's kind of like Kabam's take on like a season pass in a way, but 100%. It obviously, like with other games, they obviously charge you for season passes. They're not charging you for the Sagas thing. That's a very good. But I mean, obviously, being a mobile game, obviously they're charging us for other stuff. But like, obviously, that's always entirely optional.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very good way to put it. It's their version of a season. So that's what based on everything that you are aware of, what's your best thing that you like about it?
I mean, I like the fact that like the way not necessarily the nodes. Obviously, like the tactics for Alliance War at the moment are definitely controversial.
Yeah.
But I do like how they're incorporating like the whole ex magica tactic thing into it's not just in war anymore. Like they're incorporating that sort of use the like you want to use your ex magica tactic attackers in war, but then you want to use them for like other objectives in other parts of the game and stuff. I do really like that idea, and the fact that you can use all of this to like complete certain objectives and work towards something. Everyone's wanting to work towards that 7-star Nightcrawler now.
Yeah, and not only that, dude, there's so many champions in that category. I was so surprised when I looked. I was like, "Oh my!" There's so many good champs as well. Let me not just say so many champs.
Yeah,
that I was surprised to see how many good champions were included in the bracket that are obviously going to be buffed as per se within that Saga season. I was like, I was amazed, to be fair. So yeah, man, I'm quite happy about it. Is there anything bad that you could point out and say? I think I know what you're gonna say, but what's the worst thing that you've kind of seen that you kind of think, oh, do you know what? Yeah, I would love if they would change this regarding.
I mean, it has to be the defense tactic.
Yeah. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Hey, I tried to fight a thing the other day. I was like, yeah, no.
Like that, of the defense tactic before they announced the changes, like a few days ago, like it was incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Obviously, like it's going to vary depending on sort of what sort of tier that you're in Alliance War. At the moment, we like our alliance, like on our final war of last season, that got us into tier 2, which is the expert map, which is something that our alliance doesn't have a great deal of experience with.
Yeah.
So it means that obviously all this entire off season we've been going up against like tougher opponents that we're not quite at that level.
Yeah.
And with the added difficulty of the defense tactic, I think even after the changes that Kabam made, the tactic is still really difficult. It's like I would, if to anyone that's listening to this, like don't like get angry or whatever, like if you're losing more fights than you normally would in previous seasons, because this is a very difficult tactic. There's like it's not easy in any way, shape, or form. Even with the changes that they made, even with the new attack champs that they've added, even the hitting into block thing. Like there's certain champs, like defense champs, that depending on what node they're on, they are still like an absolute nightmare or literally impossible to fight. And I would not be surprised if so many more alliances this season do not get like full exploration.
That's true.
It's like there are just certain champs that I'm not gonna. I want to point them out, but at the same time, I don't want to because I don't want to be giving people.
You don't.
I don't want to be giving people any hints as to what to do.
You don't have to. You don't have to pinpoint on any specific names, but yeah, like 100%. I agree with that because and the thing is, I've only had one practice war, so I want to try a few things and see, but yeah, it definitely didn't go as smooth as I expected to. I think I used two. I think I used 2 revives, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah. Let me see what's popping with this. Hopefully, it's not like that when the season starts. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So obviously, being now that we're in a new month, obviously we're in March now, so obviously the new event quest has started for this month, and we've seen 2 new champions enter the contest in obviously the Destroyer and Serpent. What are your views on them 2, man? Like which champion looks better? Like which one do you think's better?
I think it's really difficult to say which one actually looks better. They've both because they both do different things. They're both very. I think they both look very good. Like obviously it depends on what situation you're in, and like if you need like a mystic champ that can like deal with what was it? Like, I can't even remember now what it was the Destroyer was good for. Like I remember watching the deep dive, but like it's been a minute, and obviously having had no experience against or with the destroyer yet.
Yeah.
Like I just remember that like there was something in particular that really did catch my eye with the destroyer, that like he's going to be really good.
I
Like
believe
I know he gains a hell of a lot of power.
I
Like
believe
in
he
certain situations,
I
and that's
believe
going to certainly help.
I believe when he gets his like when he gets going, I think he didn't I see something about him locking buffs and not locking buffs, but he applies something to you, and
He
whenever you gain
converts certain buffs into rubble. And those
yeah.
those rubble debuffs or buffs do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And like I remember thinking to
But
myself like that'll help. Like if you need the opponent to have like a certain number, I can't remember if they're buffs or debuffs, but if you need a certain number of them, those rubble ones will count towards that.
but doesn't the although they do absolutely nothing, don't they play a factor in him having, don't they boost some kind of something for his attack, and the more rubble he has on the opponent, the more damage he does in something? I can't remember. Don't quote me on that.
I can't remember. I would need to
Okay,
watch
cool.
the deep dive again.
Okay, cool. All
And
right.
with the serpent, like he's going to be like, I've finished like one run of
the event quest.
Event Quest, yeah, and I've 100% the serpent map, and
Okay.
like yeah, he's going to be very annoying as a defender for sure.
This obviously leads on. This actually leads on to my next question, because my next question is actually obviously looking at the two champions, and obviously you fought them already because you've done at least one run through the event quest, and obviously you've seen the deep dive videos. Out of the two champions, like do you think looking at both of them, do you think they'll be more effective as like attackers, defenders, or like a dual threat?
I think they'll both like have dual threat capability.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay, so you think both of them can be annoying defenders?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Like I'm not. I've only fought the destroyer just the once, so I haven't done any more. I've only done the one path again, the one fight against him.
Did you get solo?
I did not.
Okay.
I just because of I went into the fight initially with OG Spidey because my thought was he's going to gain a ton of unstoppable. Try and use Spidey's decelerate to web him up, like, and stop the unstoppable and be able to deal with that. But I'd not taken the constant physical damage that Spidey was dealing, putting ruptures back onto Spidey.
Okay.
So I ended up dying to the rupture damage.
So basically,
I went in with Scorpion to finish the fight, like being rupture immune. I switched into like his shock sting, and like managed. I reckon I could get a solo with Scorpion.
So basically, if I do my first run and I get a solo, does that mean I'm better than you?
No, it doesn't at all.
Cool,
it's a brand new champion. I'm just getting used to it.
All right, cool. All right, cool. So with that being said, bro, recently we obviously have seen raids come into the game. That is something that obviously, because we're in the boat, we are actually we're both in the same alliance and we're in the same battle group. So like I myself have only played raids once. I believe you've played it twice.
Twice, yeah.
Okay. What's your thoughts on raids, man?
I love raids. Like if it were possible, I know that there's no way that Kabam are going to do this. At least not anytime in the future, in the near future. I would just totally replace Alliance Quest with raids.
Hey, brother, listen.
If it were up to me.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When we played, and it obviously it got introduced and signed up or whatnot, bro. When we completed the first week, I was like, yo, cool. It's once a month, yeah. Calm, bro. No, bro. When the second week came, and man, them were like, all right, boom, everyone joined out. AQ started. I was like, are you taking the piss? I was like, what do you mean AQ? What do you mean AQ started? Bro, I swear Ray's not back till another 3 weeks. What do you mean AQ? Bro, I was vexed. I was so mad when I realized that, hold on, it's 1 week of raids and 3 weeks at AQ. Bro, I was mad. I was like, no, man.
Yeah.
I was like, no, man, no. We need this on a weekly basis, man. I was like, no.
Yeah.
We need the raids on a weekly basis. I had so much fun.
I don't see them doing raids weekly. I don't probably ever. But I would hope that if they could do them like at least every 2 weeks instead of every 4, I think that would be really, really nice.
I don't know,
like
man. I can see them. I can see it being okay. Boom, like because raids is such a difference between AQ and it feels a lot more cooperative than AQ, and also you can get it. I mean, to be fair, you can kind of get AQ done in your own time now because they've changed it quite a lot in regards to nodes being connected and stuff. But with like the way at least like the people that I was working with when we ran raids, oh bro, it was beautiful, bro. I mean, you know, because obviously I was talking to you at the time. But it was beautiful, bro. It's amazing. And the thing is, like, raids are something that I've experienced in other mobile games that I've kind of played along the years anyway. And I feel like MCOC is a bit behind when it comes to that. And considering it's a new feature that's just being implemented into the game, I have no doubt about it that will occur on a lot more of a regular basis.
No, I hope so, because it's certainly like a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fun. But like the reason I don't think they would ever get rid of AQ entirely is because of the fact that raids isn't aimed for like everyone in the game. It's like it's like Jax said in the stream leading up to like the first raid. Like the whole point of it, it's meant to be for like people with more advanced rosters and challenge people that are like that they don't feel like AQ is challenging them anymore.
Oh yeah, for sure. Don't get me wrong.
Like AQ will always still be. I think it will always still be a part of the game because those people that are new to the game or in those like sort of around uncollected, working towards Cav, like they need something to do as well.
They can't just get rid of AQ for sure. 100%, they can't just get rid of AQ.
For me, they could make it.
No.
If they could make it so that like people at our level could do raids,
just
like,
add it. Just add it like when you select the map. That's all they need to do. So when you go map 8, the next option is raids. That's all they need to do. So when you're picking what map you want to do for the beginning of the AQ cycle or whatnot, you have those that will still select whether they want to do AQ or not, and then you have those that select the raids. In my opinion, that's what they need to do. Because then that way you get to keep the people that want to... Some people might not like the format, or they might not have good communication enough in their alliance or their battle group to be able to organize raids. So therefore AQ might just be their better option. They you know, but obviously for other people that have a lot more of a better communication in their alliance, raids might be a lot more beneficial to them. Plus, obviously, people that have been playing the game for 7 years plus, like us, like you want something new, you want to switch up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, they definitely can't just ditch AQ for sure. But also, one thing I would say is with raids, yes, although there is a end game kind of like tag to it at the end of the day, it would be nice to see raids on a smaller scale for players that aren't necessarily at our level, just with lower health pools at the end of the day.
Like just different levels or difficulties of raids?
Yeah. Because then that way it's not just, oh my gosh, okay, I've been unlucky enough to not have that much of a good roster, but I really like the look of raids and I would really want to try it. Therefore, it doesn't just seem like it's a case of, oh, okay, well, unfortunately, you guys are never going to experience this anytime soon because you're nowhere near this level. You know what I mean? I feel like it shouldn't just... I mean, it's new, so at the end of the day, like it's catered to the like more endgame players. Fair enough, cool. But at some point, I think introducing that on a lower level scale so that players that are like in the early throne breaker stages will be able to enjoy a lower level of raids so they can know what they can work their way up to. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like Kabam want to have stuff there that's going to encourage players to push to get towards that next progression title, like so that they can unlock things like that. Like
but
that,
then
like I absolutely cannot wait to become Valiant. I've seen people with them Valiant daily crystals, man. I want them.
but
I
but
want
then
those.
yeah, but
I
then
want those Valiant
but
daily crystals. That's what I'm wanting to work towards.
but then that's why you have reward tiers. So as much as yeah, obviously if raids was available to a lower level of player base, they would still be pushed to get to the next level because like you exactly like what you just said. Oh right, I want to become Valiant because have you seen this next thing that you get? Do you know what I mean? So it's not to say that if they did bring out raids at a future date for lower level players, that will make them feel like they don't need to grind as much to the next progression level because they're still an upgrade in rewards. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, look at the rewards that we're getting as at the level that we're at. Do you know what I mean? As Paragons, we're getting some really good rewards. As
Wow,
Thronebreaker,
raid.
yeah. So
Yeah, I have gotten a couple of really nice chests from
yeah,
like those raids.
do you know what I mean? So as a Thronebreaker player, they're not gonna get the same rewards that we would get when we do raids, but they'd still be like, oh my god, have you seen what you can get from raids when you can play at that Paragon level? Yeah, I want that. Do you know what I mean? So like I said, it's still pretty new. So at the end of the day, I get it. It can stick to. I'm talking about like a year down the line from now. Like when like raids is just the norm to us, and we're looking for the next new thing. Like give other players at that lower level the option. Okay, boom, we're now rolling this out to you guys. Smaller health pools, and they can because it's fun. The raids is so much more fun than AQ. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
and we've had AQ for donkey's years, bro. So like at the end of the day, it would be nice and refreshing for the whole community, not just the ones that are at the end game level. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, also touching on that. So obviously we've discussed raids and whatnot. Obviously, I mentioned earlier on the channel that you are like you've done a number of massive featured crystal openings on the channel. Like, what are your thoughts about featured crystals? Because obviously, there's a lot of 7-star champions in the game now, and where everyone's chasing 7 stars. Obviously, they're still releasing 6-star featured crystals, and obviously that's still changing on the cycle that it's on. Like, what's your views on chasing the featured 6-stars?
I think it just depends, sort of, really at what point of the game that you're at. Like, obviously, like this most recent the feature that just came out this week, I think, is the first 6-star featured crystal. In a long while that I haven't saved any shards for in advance.
Swear down.
I did not have anything at all.
That's why man didn't get the call up still.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Like,
Swear down.
because ask anyone, like anyone that knows me and has been in an alliance with me, or has seen like my screenshots of leading up to featured crystals coming out, like on Twitter or something. People will know, like, I'm well known to be like a shard hoarder when it comes to like the featured crystals. That's something that I was definitely well known to. I'd be going into certain 6-star featured crystals with close to 1 million or just over 1 million 6-star shards.
Hey, can I just say, bro, I don't like the way you said, oh right, ask anyone. Because ask anyone that knows you, like you're not talking to someone that knows you, bro. I don't like the way you said that, bro. Like you're making it sound like I don't know you, bro. You say I ask anyone that knows me, bro. Brother, I'm someone that knows you, bro. I need to ask. Yeah. I know what you're on.
No, but I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to like the people that are watching this as well.
Cool. All right, cool. I thought you were saying to me, I'm like, brother, I know your thing. Pause. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know how your thing works. For
oh my God.
You get me? So that's how I'm like, what? But I've been here, man. I see you with 1.2 million shards, man. I'm like, I know how the thing's set, bro. But yeah, it's true. Yeah, 100%.
So, like, yeah, I think it just really depends on like sort of what point you're at in the game and like what your focus is. Right now, really, I've pretty much now shifted my focus to getting 7 stars as quickly as possible.
Okay, fair play.
Which means that like there's not really much point in me hoarding 6-star shards anymore because I'm better. Don't get me wrong, I'll still open like that one every 2 weeks from the sigil store. Because it's like 1,000 shards extra than a basic, so I'm fine with that. But for the most part, I'm now really just focused on just like as soon as I get enough for a 6-star basic, I'll just open the 6-star basic because I want to get those 7-star shards in as quickly as possible.
Do you ever see yourself hoarding 7-star shards?
It would really probably not anytime soon.
Okay.
Just because the fact that the crystals cost 15,000, so it's like an extra like 50% more than a 6-star basic to get a 7-star basic.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're probably not earning 7-star shards quite at that rate yet, to make it easzy to like get those.
I don't know, man. I feel like we're earning them. I feel like we're earning them quite quicker than I thought we would have. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Certainly, like quicker than I thought that we would as well. But like, I still don't think it's quite at that level where hoarding makes sense.
Yeah. Shards. Can you imagine, bro? Can you imagine hoarding like 1 million 7-star crystal shards, bro? And then they announced that they're going down from 50k to 10k. Oh, brother, you are winning.
I'd be gassed. I'd be so gassed if that happened.
That would be sick. All right, cool. So I have one more question for you, my bro.
Okay.
Pick one champ that you can buff in the game. Who would the champ be, and what sig ability would you give them?
Ooh, that's not an easy question either.
I know.
There are a lot of champs in the game.
I know.
Like that need buffs.
But in this, obviously, you can say what the champ is, but you also get to like say, obviously, there's a lot of characters that have had that have been out in movies or had like series out or whatever. So you get to kind of see what they can do or whatever. I want you to say who you would buff, but also what would their main ability be.
I am going to ask maybe you to answer that question first, just to give me a chance to quickly look through the champs and make a decision, because I'm really not too sure how to answer that quickly.
Cool. For me, obviously, I love Black Panther. Like, outside of the game, I love Black Panther. I know OG Black Panther's had a buff. Black Panther Civil War.
Yeah.
I would probably give him a buff, and for me, the sig ability for Black Panther would be, I don't know how often I would make it, but it would be based around, in the movie when he could activate that purple shield around him, and it would absorb damage, and then after a period of time, it distributes the damage back out to the enemies. I would love for him to, and it wouldn't be difficult to do in game, because Mysterio, is it Mysterio? Mysterio has that ability with his SP1, right? He fires the SP1, whatever damage he takes, when the timer expires, that damage is dealt back to the opponent, and whatever health he lost, he restores back to. I would love that to be a part of Black Panther Civil War's kit. Obviously, I don't really know what other abilities he would have, but I would love for that. That would probably be my number one thing, because you could take Thorn's Nodes, you can take a bit like what you used to do with Magic. You go Magic, and within this window, you can take whatever damage you want, because when the thing expires, you get your health restored. It's calm. Do you know what I mean? So I would that would be my that would be mine if I could pick one, to be fair. And that's something I've wanted for a while, to be honest. As you can imagine, hence why I can obviously answer the question obviously quite quickly.
So quickly, yeah.
But yeah, so that would be my one.
For me, it's I don't know. I've been looking through a lot of the champs here, like in my roster, and there's two that probably actually stand out to me more than any other. I mean, obviously Groot is the most obvious, probably the most requested one that you see in like the forums and in live stream chats and whatever. I think for me, there's two in particular.
But to be fair, let me clarify this before you answer the question. It doesn't have to be a champion that is rubbish right now. It could be a champion that is, because I think we as players, we associate the word buff with a champion that is bad right now. It doesn't have to be a champ that's bad. It could be a champion that you like. It could be Hitmonkey, but you would just give him a different ability in game than how he works originally now. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want you to feel like you're restricted to that question based on which champions are rubbish. Yeah. So with that being said, like it could be Apocalypse, but the sig ability that you would give him is different to the one that he has in game, where he just recovers health after a few matches. So like with that being said, obviously bear that in mind when you're thinking about who you would buff and what ability you would give them, because
if that's the case, then I've got a top 3.
Okay, cool.
Like rather than just a 1.
Yeah. Let me hear the top 3.
So third place I'll give to the one that I guess all 3 of them probably are considered bad champs, I guess.
Okay,
but
cool.
like I'm not gonna. They're not really. These aren't. Although I'm saying top 3, like they're not really going to be in any specific order.
Okay, cool.
The first one for number 3, I'd say, is Dormamu.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'd love a Dormamu buff. Like
Dormamu's good.
I think he should be doing so much. He needs a damage increase.
Fist, that's good. Fist, that's good.
Like, he needs the incinerate immune. I mean, his head's on fire, like Ghost Rider. How is Ghost Rider got the incinerate immunity? Dormammu needs it as well.
But he needs even Nova Flame. He needs to be able to
incinerate and Nova Flame. Torch, not going to work anymore.
Yeah,
like,
I agree with that. That's a really good shout, Fist. That's a sick shout. All right, second.
I think he's got like decent. I think he's got the utility. It's just the fact that he doesn't get the damage doesn't go up enough. He just doesn't do the damage that you want him to do.
I agree with that.
Second, I would have to go with Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is a good. This coming out with bangers.
Doctor Strange.
Are you saying Mystic Madness? Yeah.
No. My last one isn't a mystic, but Doctor Strange. Cool. When you look at like just how much stuff he can do, like all the different things you see him doing in the movies and in the comic books, like it just feels like obviously the whole nefarious 12.0.
Yeah, he's been dead.
12.0 update completely ruined him as a champ. But that was before I started playing. Yeah, so I've only ever known him to be in his current.
Yeah, he's been dead. He was. Like, I don't even know what to compare him to. Like, you know the level of like Herc right now and how much Herc was used for a period of time. He was like up there, bro. He was. Yeah,
I've heard that. And I'm gutted that I wasn't there for it.
He was, but do you know what? It's good that you wasn't there for it, because that era.
I can't miss it because I never had it.
No, not even that. That era made people get better at the game. Like that, like when Kabam shut that down, people started to learn how to intercept, how to evade, how to dodge like attacks, and like you had to do more of that, because obviously now you got things like Pierce and stuff that, bro, if you take too much blocked hits, you're dead, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like obviously when that era was there, you can just stand there and you could do any fight, bro. Any fight you wanted to do, you could do it, because all you had to do was block. You're taking no damage, bro. So like you're blocking and it's just zero. You're just keeping all your health, bro. So it couldn't in order for the game to grow.
Removing all the challenge from the game.
So in order for the game to grow, we needed that to disappear. But obviously because it's your typical, because you've had it for so long, to imagine playing the game without it, bro. What? You mean to tell me I've been playing this thing for years, bro, and I've never taken damage, and now I can't block? Oh, you're crazy, bro. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad. But like I said, it's amazing, because now we've got a community of really skilled players that can do numerous difficult fights without even getting hit once. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and we wouldn't have that had it have not been for the game evolving.
Absolutely.
By obviously what happened after 12.0. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man. Okay, so Doctor Strange, that's a good shout. What's your number one?
My final choice would be Superior Iron Man.
Superior Iron Man. All right, cool. I'm gonna take Superior Iron Man as your pick. But you're gonna have to tell me what ability you would give him, or you can pick one of the 3 champions that you mentioned, and you can say what SIG ability you would give that champ.
I don't know. Like even like I don't know what exact SIG ability I would give to that level of creativity. I don't know exactly what I would do to change that. I just know that like all 3 of them, like plus there's so many other champs that need buffs, probably some more so than those 3. But Superior Iron Man, I think like he's meant to be different from the other Iron Men in the fact that obviously he's a cosmic class instead of tech.
Yeah.
And that's because like the suit of armor that he's wearing is actually some sort of like alien type material.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know the story behind that.
He's the only Iron Man in the game that is not #metal because and that's one thing that they obviously took into account when designing this character, but then they didn't do anything with that.
I don't know anything about Superior Iron. That's pretty. Really, the design, his suit design should look different to them. I would love to see it as more of a kind of symbiote kind of designed character. Obviously, it's not a symbiote, but
but it's something sort of the way that the suit moves about and stuff. It's meant to be something similar to a symbiote.
Yeah, exactly.
Way, but not a symbiote.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see that change.
So I'm not entirely sure what they could do with it. Like, because I don't know that
enough of
that version of. I don't know that version of Iron Man well enough to know like what he's meant to be capable of. But I just know that like him, Doctor Strange, and Dormammu would be the 3. If I could pick 3, those would be the ones that I would go with.
Do you know what? I'm so surprised about though? I'm really surprised that Doctor Strange doesn't have an ability in the game that's kind of like falter, because he can like basically knock you out of your body, and therefore it's like you basically can't touch him. I think he should have that built into his kit.
Right, something like where there's some sort of
like Ebony Maw does.
Some sort of thing where he knocks you into like the mirror dimension or something.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to see it you don't have to see it. I mean they can put it in his special free animation, but like I think he should have an ability in game where it causes you to falter and your attacks to miss. Because
no, but they could do something like this in game, like you can see it in game. Like when you're playing Professor X, there's like that sort of blue dome thing that appears around the arena. Like, so they could do something. Like
they could do that.
Put some sort of like shattered mirror effect, like in the background, like whatever arena you're fighting in. Instead of it just being like the regular arena, it could be like sort of shattered mirror fragments everywhere.
1,000%.
But in the mirror, you can see like the bits of the arena that you're meant to be fighting in, but it's because you're in the mirror dimension, and when you're in the dimension, like it has some sort of benefit to Doctor Strange.
1,000%, bro. There we go. We've just come up with an idea, ladies and gentlemen at Kabam. If you're listening, boom, off Doctor Strange. I believe there's a there's a something madness, multiverse madness or something. That's the next movie, right?
That was the last Doctor Strange movie was the multiverse of madness.
Oh, okay. Well, we're due to see another one, so like, come on. It's time for a new. Listen, actually, I don't even want that because I want a new Doctor Strange with the third eye open and everything. Yeah. Cool. Calm. Yeah. Maybe we just scrap the old one and implement something nice for the new one. Yeah. Let's do that, man. All right, cool. Before we go, Fish. Obviously, when you are not playing MCOC, what other games do you play, man, to like kind of take your mind off of MCOC and to have a little breakaway, man?
I mean, the game that I probably play more than anything else other than MCOC is EAFC.
Yeah, you're an EAFC guy.
Formerly known as FIFA.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a game that like takes stress away. If anything, I play MCOC to take the stress away from having played FIFA.
Can I just say, when I used to do Twitch streams, which will be coming back soon, but when I used to do Twitch streams, can you just let the viewers right now know what your nickname was?
Raging Fists.
Do you want to explain to them why your nickname was Raging Fists?
Because I could not play FIFA without raging. I am very, very quick to lose my temper at that game.
Do you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to like one time jump in a party and when you're raging, just like record it on the secret and just include it in this pod, just so that they can get to experience what it is.
It's like, I don't know if you want to put people through that, to be honest.
Oh man, but no, it's no.
I know that some like you guys usually find it funny just because of the way that I react sometimes and some of the things I end up coming out with.
But you know, also I think I've known you for so long that I think I'm immune to it. To be fair, bro, I'll be honest. Sometimes I'm in parties with you, like, and when you're like, to me, it just sounds normal. Does that make
think
sense?
you just turn the volume down. I
really don't. I really don't. Like you'll know, like, because there's certain times we'll talk or I'll say something. Like if I'm on the phone or whatnot, I'll take my headset off. But besides that, like I'm all, or if I'm doing something on MCOC and I need to concentrate, I'll take my headset off or something. But other than that, if we're just chilling and I'm playing that with you, or I'm playing in another match and we're both playing the same game, but we're playing in separate matches. Like I'll happily have my thing on unless I need to focus, which I don't really play at that level where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to fully concentrate. I don't really play foot champs and stuff like that anymore. So I think I'm immune to it, to be fair. I think it gets to a point where like because I know how you are and I've been in parties where it's just me and you, like, bro, there's times where I hear you raging and then like I might say, oh right, this. Hey, when's the new featured Crystal coming out? And we just end up talking normally as long as it's not.
Mate, there'll be times I'll be sat there raging at a game. The game will end, and within about a minute, I'm just back to how I was before I was playing a match.
So Beezy.
It's like I just suddenly switched right back to normal. Like there's no middle ground.
No, 100%.
I'm not either raging or not raging, and that's 100%. it. There's no grey area.
100%, man. 100%. Well, listen, bro. I think obviously we've obviously come to the end, so I think we're just gonna charge it and leave it there, man. Is there anything else that you want to say? Obviously, you want to give them your X/Twitter handle, so that obviously you're quite knowledgeable in the game. Obviously, you're very close to becoming Valiant. You've completed a bunch of stuff in the game. So obviously Fizz is very helpful within the community if you guys have any questions. Sometimes I go to Fizz and I'm like, oh bro, like, I don't know who to use here, who did you use? And Fizz will help me plan paths for certain things or whatnot. So I don't know if you want to like let them know any of your information. You might not necessarily want people adding you on Discord, but you might want to obviously give them your Twitter handle or whatnot, or your X handle, sorry, just so that obviously if people want to, they can obviously add you or follow you, and obviously reach out and ask questions or see your progression when you want to post pictures of some of your openings and stuff.
Right, I'm not one of those people that's really bothered about followers or following others on Twitter. If people add me and and they seem cool enough, then I'll add them, I'll follow them back and whatever. But people want to like add me to ask for advice or anything. There's bound to be like other people out there that they know that can already do that stuff anyway.
No, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about this is
if
about
people do want to add me specifically, like my @ is @UK Gamer for Life. That's a number 4, not the word 4.
Okay, so UK Gamer number 4 Life. Cool.
That's the one.
That's going to be in the description below, guys. Anyway, so if you want to add my boy Fizz on X, you can. The link to his X account will be in the description below. Okay, that sounds so crazy. The link to his X account.
You normally see me whenever Beezy posts something on Twitter, I'm usually there like liking or commenting on it anyway. So it's not like I'd be too difficult to find if you've already got Beezy on on X, then you'll probably I probably won't be too far away.
Yeah. That's very true, man. That's very true. Well, Fizz, man, massive thank you for jumping on today. We have been trying to get together and do this for a few weeks now. And unfortunately, it hasn't happened due to myself keep on postponing things, man. But I'm glad we got together today and got this done because I really enjoyed it, man. I said, it just felt like another normal MCOC conversation that we have. Apart from I probably hit you with a few questions that you've been like, wow, what? Hold on, you didn't even give me time to think about this one.
Yeah, innit? Like if I'd have at least known about that last question, I'd have been able to at least prepare an answer in advance.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, obviously, like I said, guys, like Fizz is one of my good friends, so this probably isn't going to be the last time that you hear from Fizz especially in one of these podcast episodes as well. He'll definitely be back in here, even if it might not necessarily to be to ask him interviewed questions. It might just be to discuss something in the game that's happened or that's coming up. You know, not every single one of these episodes are going to be an hour long. Like, to be fair, I only thought it was going to be half an hour, to be fair. But yeah, not all the episodes will be an hour. But yeah, man, Fizz, obviously, you know, you're more than welcome to come on the channel. You know, we talk all the time at the end of the day, so, you know.
Well, I mean, I'm co-owner of the channel now, so I've got to be
here. So that we did, yeah? That we did,
yeah? Like I said at the beginning, man, like, that's already been well established. Like, I'm here now.
Oh, snap. All right, well, Fizz, is there anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Thanks to everyone that watched and listened. Like, I hope you tuned in for the next one.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Well, listen, guys, like Fizz just said, man, thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Like I said, this is going to be the first episode. It's been something I wanted to do for some time, but obviously glad to be here and finally get to grips with doing it. I don't know how often we'll release one of these, but definitely I want to make it a focus to start getting them out. And it would be nice if we got to a point where we could do one once a week, but this is definitely going to be the first episode, man. If anyone that knows me has obviously watched this and you guys would like to feature on an episode, then by all means, like, hit me up in the comments below, or even if you don't know me and you want to feature on one, hit me up in the comments below so we can obviously, you know, I'll talk to you, get some information about your Discord, talk to you about the game a little bit, get a gauge for like where you are. You don't have to be an end game level player either. I'm down to get opinions and stuff from all different kind of people playing the game, like, you know, from new players to, like, you know, players that are like players that have done everything in the game. Do you know what I mean? So there's not a specific criteria for you having to be at a certain point in the game to obviously come over here and talk to me about MCOC, man. At the end of the day, the community is massive. And yeah, man, like, you know, it's nice that we can all just sit down and talk about the game that we love. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully it will get to a point where there could be like 2-3 of us talking on here at the same time. That'll be really good, man. But yeah, man, but that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching or listening. And yeah, man, I'll definitely catch you guys on the next episode, man. Take care for now, guys. We'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.